Ich bin's wieder, Käse und Jahren, hier mit meinem Let's Play von Ace Attorney Investigations Prosecutor's Pass. Und ja, jetzt wollen wir uns mal hier die Delicia mal vorknöpfen. Hat sie doch echt versucht, hier bei dem Wettbewerb zu betrügen. Huh? Miss Delicious, you don't seem as energetic as you were earlier. Delicia, can I just ask, did something happen with Von Karma? Yesy, nothing of the sort. But you just said Yesy. That Yesy just now was only a greeting. You're a cute boy. I like you. What's your first name? It's Raymond, but... Well, Ray, I think you'll make a good man of yourself someday. Ray? How about that? I think you have a way with British ladies. She's a little different from my image of a lady. Why don't we listen to what she has to say? Na gut. Dann, my liebe Frau, could you tell me about your actions during the contest? Yesy, we began making desserts for the contest around 10 o'clock. Basically, I wasn't here making my desserts the whole time. At 1:30, I joined the afternoon tea for about an hour or so. Afternoon tea? It's a social occasion where conversation is had over black tea and cake. So it's pretty much a tea party. Well, I suppose. Oh, Greggy, you're a smart boy, aren't you? When did I become Greggy? Where was the afternoon tea held? It took place in the garden outside of the Fountain Patio. It's our customary break time during the contest. It's always held at the same time. Today there were just 3 of us who took part. Jeffy, Katie and me. Since Jeffy had already finished his creations, he was there from beginning to end. Icy and Gusty didn't join in because they hadn't finished their desserts yet. So everyone other than Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia participated. Yes, actually I hadn't finished my dessert yet either. I just wanted to try something of Jeffy's handmade pastries and Katie's fresh brewed tea. So, after I had eaten my fill, I returned before everyone else. During the contest, did you enter any of the other contestants' rooms? What are you saying? We found your fingerprints on the desserts at the crime scene. You found them? Are you admitting that you went to the scene of the murder? I admit it, but I'm not the murderer. It's the honest truth. Please, hear me out. Okay, wenn du meinst. What were you doing in Mr. Master's room? The truth is, I was studying his desserts. Studying? Because Jeffy's so talented at making sweets. Well, nobody was in his room at the time, so I just decided to study his works for a bit. Okay. But if you were just looking, you wouldn't have left your fingerprints behind. Ich habe so langsam die Vermutung. Ich glaube nicht, dass Delicia die Mörderin ist. Aber, so wie Gustavia das gemeint hat, und mit der Sache von wegen, sie würde alles tun, um zu gewinnen, glaube ich, sie ist für die Sabotage an dem Gericht von Jeff verantwortlich. Ich glaube schon, ja. Yesy, it's natural that I left fingerprints on the desserts. For the sake of research, I ate some of his desserts. Isn't that like stealing food?
It couldn't be. The one who wrecked Mr. Master's room was...
I'm sorry. It wasn't my intention to vandalize the room, but I did eat a few parts of the desserts in his room. I secretly ate little bits and pieces of Jeffy wouldn't find out.
So, did you eat the ship stand as well?
Yesy, I did.
The chocolate chip broke because of you.
I'm sorry. So the reason she left the afternoon tea early was to preserve her appetite. But you've got to believe me on this. I'm not the murderer.
Her actions are sufficiently suspicious, but I won't press on it yet. Na dann. Delicia, why is the room temperature set to 68 grade Fahrenheit?
The cold doesn't agree with me. Plus, it's bad for the body. This feature doesn't just maintain itself, you know. Naturally, as a lady, I want to look young forever.
I wonder how old Miss Delicious really is. Raymond, a true gentleman never asks a woman her age. This room is mainly filled with cream. And 50 grade Fahrenheit is the recommended temperature for preserving fresh cream.
What? Really? Now it's all gone to waste. It looks like Miss Delicious didn't know.
Okay. Traurig. I thought she was supposed to be a first-class pastry chef. The fake desserts and the rule violations, and now her lack of basic knowledge. Looks like she keeps many secrets.
Ja, offensichtlich ja. Okay, wir sind fertig mit der Dame. Study. Ach, kann es vielleicht sein, dass sie das Ganze nur studieren wollte? Damit sie die Basics drauf hat.
Delicious knowledge in the art of dessert making is lacking in fundamental areas, and she claimed she went into Mr. Master's room in order to study his desserts. These actions and ideas are not fitting of someone aiming to be the world's greatest pastry chef. Yeah, they don't sound like the world of a pro. It's like she doesn't even realize it, or maybe she isn't a real pastry chef. Perhaps she had some other intention. It's possibly that she didn't go into the room to study desserts.
So then, are you saying Miss Delicious is the criminal?
We can't say that for sure yet. But I know she's hiding something from us.
Fact is, investigation complete. Geil!
That's enough investigating. We found much more than I expected. And yet something from before still bothers me. Prosecutor von Karma must have found a murder weapon in this room. So then, why did he let Delicia be? Firstly, I must ascertain von Karma's true motives. Detective Bad, I would like to ask Prosecutor von Karma something. I've also got business with him. And Delicia there too.
What's the idea, Betty? Don't glare at me like that.
It seems Detective Bad also has his doubts about Delicia and von Karma. Delicia, would you come with us for a moment?
Yesy, that's fine. What for?
We have to find von Karma. There are some things we need to talk about.
Okay.
Dann mal ab zum Contest Venue Fountain Patio. Am 24. Dezember 8:05 Uhr. Da ist er schon wieder. Prosecutor von Karma. We need to talk about the case.
From the look on your face, I assume you found the murder weapon.
Yes. We discovered the murder weapon in Delicia's room. It would seem Mr. Master isn't the only suspect in this case.
Bah! That's not true. Where the murder weapon was found does not change the fact that Master is the culprit. As long as I am here.
Why is Von Karma so sure of himself? Well then, aren't you going to explain why the murder weapon was in Delicia's room?
Naturally. If you wish to know, I'll tell you.
Oh Gott, geistiges Kräftemessen mit Manfred.
Dich zerstampf ich, du Arsch! In order to pin the crime on Delicia, Master used a rock salt lamp to kill the victim. He then deposited the murder weapon in Delicia's room. If he had left the murder weapon at the crime scene, Master would have been the one suspected. He couldn't move the body, but it was easy to move the murder weapon. Ergo, there would be no evidence pointing to a specific culprit at the crime scene.
Mr. Master took the rock salt lamp?
Precisely. I carried out the investigation myself. There can be no room for doubt.
Do you have evidence that he moved it?
That will not be necessary.
What?
If you have an objection, say it. Do you think a murder defense attorney can break my logic?
Werden wir sehen. Entkräftung! About the murder weapon. Na dann. The crime scene master would have been the one suspected. The crime scene. Sehe ich anders. It's true that the murder weapon and bloodstains disappeared from the vicinity. However, there was still one piece of incriminating evidence left behind. Have a look at this photograph, which was taken when the body was first discovered. This coat was used to wrap the body. Doesn't it remind you of the fluorescent clothes from Delicia's room?
My fluorescent clothes was at the crime scene?
Huh? Fluorescent clothes? You, just what part of this clothes is fluorescent?
I guess Von Karma doesn't know about this clothes secret. It looks like a normal clothes at first glance, but if you use this rainbow light device, you can make it glow. Aha! Erwischt! Prosecutor Von Karma seems a little surprised. I don't think it was the clothes' ability to glow that surprised him. One sheet of this fluorescent clothes is currently unaccounted for. Now, I'd like you to look at the color of the clothes in this photo. Don't you think it looks like the color of the fluorescent cloth before it's been lit up? Both the rock salt lamp and the fluorescent cloth originally belonged to Delicia. Wouldn't it be natural to assume that this cloth was used to wrap the body? Prosecutor Von Karma. I believe the present conditions give us much reason to suspect Delicia. LOL? Was war das bitte schön, was ihr hier diese Schüssel wieder nach oben geschoben hat.
Hold it, Greggy! Do you really suspect me?
I don't yet know if you are the culprit. But it is true that you're hiding something. Am I right?
That's...
So, you're saying that the murder weapon and the clothes were originally from Delicia's room?
Yes. What's so funny?
Just as I expected from you. The murder weapon and the clothes are not from her room. How unfortunate for you.
What does he mean?
Before your contest began, Mr. noticed a violation of the rules. He confiscated the clothes and the rock salt lamp and kept them in his room for safekeeping.
What?
The victim was not seen as he stayed locked up in his room after the contest had begun. The only one who could have unlocked the locked rooms was Jeff Master. And the murder weapon, the rock salt lamp, was being kept in Master's room. There should be the decisive evidence in proving Master's guilt. Defense attorney, you've lost to me before you even had a chance to stand in court. What's this?
What? Was all of your investigating for nothing?
Miss Delicious! Why didn't you tell us about your confiscated items?
Well... Many said I'd look suspicious if I did.
Prosecutor von Karma?
And it's true! You all suspect me, don't you?
How clumsy of you, defense attorney.
Von Karma. So that's why he let us investigate Delicia's room.
And in your clumsiness, there's one more thing I need to inform you of. 2 sets of fingerprints were found on the murder weapon.
2?
Yes, they belong to Jeff Master and Delicia's gowns. No other fingerprints were found. After Master killed Dover with the confiscated rock salt lamp, he foolishly concealed the murder weapon bearing his own fingerprints in its owner's room. I don't even need to prove my case in court. I have more than enough perfect evidence to prove Master's guilt.
Hold it. I still have some doubts about the fluorescent clothes found in Mr. Master's room.
Bah! Irrelevant. After disposing of the body, he intended to return it to Delicia's room.
I don't have enough information to refute Von Karma's reasoning.
Nothing left to say. If your job is done, leave this place.
That's...
I can't give up yet.
We've wasted enough time as it is. Bad, take them away.
There are still some doubts left in our investigation.
Yay! Bat rettet uns wieder!
Detective Bat.
What's the meaning of this?
It's not my nature to leave any doubts behind. There is still one piece of evidence that has yet to be identified. That's right. There are still the traces someone left behind.
Bah! Talk about your doubts as much as you want later. But this, my dear attorney, is none of your business.
No, I also have some doubts about one piece of evidence. It's likely that I have the same doubts Detective Bat has.
What?
This is the piece of evidence left in Mr. Master's room that has yet to be identified. Ja, wem gehören jetzt hier diese Fingerabdrücke? Naja, nicht Fingerabdrücke, aber halt so Abdrücke eines Handschuhs, so. Somebody left gloved finger marks on one of Mr. Master's desserts. If these were the killer's finger marks, then it's possible that the killer also didn't leave any fingerprints on a murder weapon.
How did you know the state of the crime scene?
I gave them permission to investigate.
But what possessed you to let the defense attorney into the crime scene?
I don't recall you telling me not to let them in.
Bah! Such impudence! You'd best remember that your salary review depends on me.
This isn't good for Bat. I'm so glad I have a kind boss like Mr. Edgeworth. Your salary review depends on how you perform here.
I'm surprised at what a mere attorney like you managed to uncover in such a short time. However, it's possible those finger marks were Master's own doing. Because he always wore gloves while cooking.
Do you have evidence that those finger marks were left by Masters? And moreover, there are still a few points of suspicion surrounding Delicia.
Oh, you still haven't given up on that.
Greggy, you still suspect me? I've already apologized for stealing a few bites.
I don't want to suspect you. However, I can't easily trust those who tell lies. You must still be hiding something.
Greggy is a bully.
Don't you know the temperature fresh cream must cap at? You call yourself a dessert chef, but you lack even the most basic knowledge.
I'm sorry for my lack of knowledge.
In your case, it's not even about the lack of knowledge. In truth, you don't even know how to make desserts, do you?
Defense attorney, stop trying to force your own reasoning. In a court of law, the evidence tells all. If you say the witness is lying, show it with evidence.
We're not in court yet, but very well. This evidence shows that Delicia can't make desserts. Vielleicht hier diese Fake-Sachen. Das sind ja letztendlich nur Plastikmodelle, die mit ein bisschen Fresh Cream eingeschmiert wurden. The only things Delicia made were those that broke the rules.
The lamp and clothes that broke the rules were being held in Master's room. There's no way the witness could have returned them to her room.
Das meint auch nicht, du Depp! Those were not the only fake desserts she made.
What?
Her desserts may look like something out of a fairy tale at first glance. But in reality, they are nothing but mannequins decorated with cream. Apart from the cream, they're all fake! This is not something one aiming to become the world's greatest pastry chef would do.
Is this true, Bat?
Yes, my shoes can attest to that.
Will that be enough to convince Prosecutor von Karma?
Once he sees what Delicia has done, he'll have no choice but to be convinced. Delicia, the fact that your actions could lead to you being a suspect is no laughing matter.
I didn't murder!
Isn't it time you told us the whole truth? Who are you, and why were you indulging yourself in another contestant's work?
Yessie, I understand. The truth is, I'm not really a dessert chef, like I led you to believe. I'm actually a pharmacist.
What? A pharmacist? That's a completely different occupation. It's no wonder he couldn't hide his surprise. Why is a pharmacist like you participating in this contest?
I just love eating desserts. I joined because I thought I'd be able to eat some of Jeffy's desserts. I never thought I'd end up making it to the finals.
Even Prosecutor von Karma is at a loss of words.
So that's the real reason why you entered the contest? Yesy, as expected, Jeffy's desserts were oh so good.
So the gloved finger marks on the picture frame. What are you doing?
No way! I never wore gloves!
Delicious fingerprints were found on Mr. Master's chocolates. So it is true that she wasn't wearing gloves.
Yesy, exactly. You do believe me, Greggy.
Is your face stuffed with nothing but desserts?
Sorry, Manny.
I think it's her belly that's stuffed. Were Master's desserts all that you ate?
Actually, no. After the afternoon tea, I also ate Icy's desserts.
You mean you entered the victim's room?
Yesy, exactly. The room was empty after all.
Perhaps the victim was already dead by then.
But my first bite tasted way too salty and I couldn't eat it. So I ate the delicious star-shaped dessert that was nearby.
Miss Delicious, you really are a glutton! It is rare you see a woman with this kind of appetite. Immer nur fressen, fressen und fressen! Schön!
That's all I did. Greggy, Manny, everyone, I'm sorry I caused you trouble.
Now that you told us the truth, everything's fine. There's no need to apologize.
This does not mean that your testimony is trustworthy. I'll be investigating the victim's room after this. Only then I will decide if your testimony is true.
Prosecutor von Karma, I'd like to go as well. I also need to ascertain whether my reasoning up until now has been correct.
I'll let you follow, but I have no intention of letting you investigate.
That's enough for me. Okay. Soll heißen, es geht noch weiter. Na gut. Kriegen wir schon hin. Aber erst beim nächsten Part. Egal ob positiv oder negativ, Bewertung immer gern gesehen. Das war's meinerseits. Wir sehen uns das nächste Mal wieder. Ha, ha, sehr geil.